So, you're heading into retirement with both a pension and Social Security. First off, I want you to know something. You're in an incredibly strong position. Seriously, you have one of the most stable foundations a retiree could ask for. But, and you knew there was a but coming, even the strongest foundation can have hidden cracks. And what's wild is that most people in your exact situation still make the same three mistakes that can quietly and consistently shrink their income over time. So today we're going to uncover those three things you absolutely have to get right. Plus, one bonus mistake that almost nobody ever checks until it's way too late. Okay, let's just pause on this for a second, because this quote right here, it completely flips the script on how we're taught to think about retirement. We are all conditioned to obsess over one number, right? That big, flashy balance in our 401k or our IRA. But what David Cavanis is saying is that a giant pile of money isn't really the goal. No, the real goal is a reliable, predictable paycheck that shows up month after month to pay for your actual life. You see, success isn't about the size of the nest egg. It's about the durability of the income it creates. And that one idea is the key to understanding both the incredible power of your pension and its hidden danger. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to start by celebrating your strongest asset, really digging into the true power of your guaranteed income. Then we're going to switch to defense and expose the silent threats, things like inflation and the reality of your spending that can really sneak up on you. We'll also get into that one tough conversation most couples avoid. And then we'll wrap it all up with a clear, simple framework to help you protect your financial future. Okay, let's kick things off with the good news, and believe me, it is very good news. You know, the whole goal of retirement planning can actually be simplified way, way down. For a minute, just forget all the complex charts and the market predictions. The real goal isn't to hit some magical number in your bank account. It's all about generating reliable, consistent cash flow month after month, year after year. And this is it. This is the whole game in one single sentence. If your guaranteed income from your pension and Social Security is more than what you need to live, you've won. You have already won. Everything else, that 401k, your other savings, that's just icing on the cake. It's for the fun stuff, for emergencies, for opportunities. Your core financial life is secure. The problem is, a lot of people with pensions don't feel like they've won. They look over at their neighbor's $1 million 401k statement and they kind of feel like they're behind. This right here is such a crucial mindset shift. Having a pension isn't a sign that you failed to save. It's proof that your employer saved for you, creating this powerful income machine on your behalf. It's just a different kind of wealth. You have paycheck wealth, not portfolio wealth. And look, I get it. It's easy to feel a little insecure when you can't log in and see a big, impressive number on a screen. But that paycheck hitting your bank account every single month, no matter what the stock market is doing, that is an asset of immense, immense value. And what's really interesting here is the difference in the day-to-day experience. Think about it. The person on the left, living off their portfolio, they're constantly asking questions. Is the market up today? Is it down? Is it safe to take money out this month? Is that 4% rule still okay? Am I going to run out of money? It can be this source of constant low-grade stress. But the person on the right, living off a pension, they have certainty. They just know the check is coming. That stability, that freedom from worrying about the market every single day, that is a form of wealth that you just can't put a price tag on. So let's actually try to quantify it. What is a pension really worth in portfolio terms? Well, if we use a super common financial planning rule of thumb, the 4% rule, which basically says you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year, we can do some simple math. To generate about $1,650 a month in income, you would need a portfolio of $500,000. So let that sink in. If your pension pays you $1,650 a month, its economic firepower is basically the same as having a $500,000 investment account working just to provide that income. When people see that comparison, it often completely changes how they see their own financial situation. So here's the bottom line for this section. If that guaranteed income covers your essential bills, your housing, your food, your utilities, your healthcare, you are not behind. You are way ahead of most retirees. You've built a financial fortress. But every fortress has its weak spots. And now that we've established just how strong your position really is, we've got to talk about those hidden risks that can quietly start to chip away at it over time. And here it is. This is the first and maybe the biggest long-term threat to your retirement security. It's not a big, dramatic stock market crash. No, it's inflation. It's that slow, silent erosion of what your money can actually buy. $1 today just won't buy as much in 10 or 20 years. And the big question is, will your income be able to keep up? This chart just perfectly illustrates the problem. A lot of pensions either have no cost of living adjustment, or COLA, at all, or they've got a fixed one, maybe 2%. And that sounds okay when inflation is low. But just look at that gap. If the real world cost of things, especially for stuff retirees spend a lot on, like healthcare, is actually going up by 5%, your 2% adjustment means you are losing 3% of your purchasing power every single year. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but you compound that over 20 years, and it can seriously, dramatically reduce your standard of living. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, hey, at least I've got Social Security's COLA to protect me. And you're right. Social Security does have those adjustments, but it is so important to understand that these aren't some unbreakable economic guarantee. They are the result of political decisions. There have been, and there continue to be, very serious proposals to change the formula that's used to calculate them. For instance, a proposed change of just 0.3% a year. Sounds tiny, right? Insignificant. But over a 30-year retirement, that tiny little annual reduction compounds into a very real, very material decrease in your total lifetime income. Your plan needs to be ready for the possibility that your income won't grow as fast as your expenses. And that brings us right to the second big risk. And this one works hand in hand with inflation. So if inflation is eating away at the value of your income on one side, underestimating your spending is attacking your plan from the other. And almost everyone falls into this trap, especially when they're first trying to map out a retirement budget. Seriously, I want you to just take a second and honestly ask yourself this question. Do you have a number in your head? Maybe it's $4,000 a month? $6,000? Now, the next question is, where did you get that number? Was it kind of a guess based on your mortgage and a couple of bills? Or is it based on a real deep dive into your actual historical spending? For most of us, it's the first one. And that's where the trouble starts. And this table right here shows exactly why that guesswork is so dangerous. We're all great at remembering the regular monthly bills on the left. They're predictable, right? But retirement isn't just about predictable monthly bills. It's about life. And life includes all the stuff on the right, what we call lumpy expenses. The new set of tires for the car, the flight to see the grandkids graduate, the whole holiday season, that unexpected medical bill. These things don't happen every single month, but they absolutely happen every single year, and they can completely blow a carefully planned monthly budget to pieces. So here's the deal. You have to ditch the guesswork. The most reliable predictor of what you're going to spend in the future is what you've spent in the past. The solution is simple, but it takes a little bit of work. You need to sit down with your last 2, maybe even 3 years of bank and credit card statements. Add it all up and divide by 24 or 36. I can't tell you how many times a couple has told me they need, say, $4,000 a month, only to do this exercise and find out they've actually been spending closer to $5,300 a month without even realizing it. You have to build your plan on a foundation of reality, not just wishful thinking. All right, now for that bonus mistake. This is the one that gets overlooked so often, not because it's complicated, but because it's emotionally tough to think about. For married couples, your retirement plan is not complete until you have stress tested it for one of life's certainties, the day when one of you is left alone. The slide shows the stark, black and white reality of what happens to the household income on that day. When you're together, you've got 2 Social Security checks coming in and usually the full pension benefit. The day one spouse passes away, the smaller of those 2 Social Security checks just vanishes. It's gone forever. And depending on the survivor option you chose for your pension, and honestly, a lot of people don't fully remember what they chose years ago, that pension check could get cut, often by 50% or even more. The drop in total household income is often immediate, and it is severe. And here is the brutal mismatch. While your income might drop by 30, 40, even 50%, your expenses, they don't. The mortgage or rent payment is exactly the same. The property tax bill from the county doesn't change. Your home and auto insurance costs are the same. The electric bill barely budges. Really, the only real savings are on variable things like groceries and maybe a little on gas. This creates this enormous financial squeeze on the surviving spouse at the absolute worst emotional time of their life. This isn't about being pessimistic. It's about being prepared. Okay, so we've identified the risks, right? The slow bleed from inflation, the trap of underestimating your spending, and the financial shock of survivorship. Now let's pivot to the solution. Because this isn't about creating some perfect, unchangeable plan. It's about building a resilient one. And you can do that with a really clear 4-point framework. Here it is. This is your checklist for clarity. Step 1 is the foundation. You have to know with confidence that your reliable income is greater than your real expenses. Step 2 directly fights that inflation risk. You need to build a plan that assumes your expenses will grow faster than your pension's COLAs. You need a strategy to fill that gap. Step 3 solves the spending problem. Use your actual financial history, 24 to 36 months of it, to build your budget. No more guessing. And step 4 for couples, this is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to run the numbers for both scenarios, life together and life as a survivor. It's an essential stress test for your entire plan. Ultimately, what I really hope you take away from all this is a sense of empowerment, not fear. The goal isn't to create some perfect plan that predicts the next 30 years down to the penny. I mean, that's impossible. The real goal is to have clarity about your situation, to truly understand the real risks you face, and to build in the flexibility to adapt as life unfolds. It's all about making informed decisions from a position of knowledge and strength. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. You have the foundation of a fantastic retirement with your pension and Social Security. But after looking at these hidden risks, inflation, your true spending, and that survivor gap, the question you really need to ask yourself is this: is your plan truly ready for reality?